Hey, what's up? My name's Jake. You got time for a beer? This is my show. It's not Thursday yet, but it will be soon. It is a new brew though. You can find me Tuba Jake _69 on Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. You might be seeing this on Instagram because I still got a little bit of time left. I'm going to start this out like this so that you can find me. If you like the beginning part, that's awesome. I do talk more about beer. So what I've got today is this Westmalle Trappist Ale. It's the double from them. I've also got a triple. I got these like last year. We've still got them at our store from last year. They're on clearance, and you can buy them, which is great. But also they're a year old, so beware. So yeah. That was the end of the Instagram thing, just in case you were wondering. So Westmalle is it's a double authentic Trappist product. It says dark reddish double brewed in a Trappist abbey under the monk's supervision. Brewery income is used to maintain the abbey, and profits are donated to charity. Westmalle is bottle conditioned and contains live yeast. Store upright. Serve between 45 and 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Pour carefully, leaving the yeast behind in the bottle. Taste it separately if you like. Separately. Yeah, that's definitely what that says. I have no idea what that means. Okay, so leave the yeast in the bottom means we're not pouring it all out. Probably leave like the last inch or so, which is perfect. Let's see, where is this from? Trappist Monastery of Westmalle in Belgium. Looks like Malle, Malle, Belgium. Imported by Merchant du Vincourt, Seattle, Washington. Cool. Don't tell anybody I'm using my stocking stuffer to open this. Obviously, it's not Christmas yet, but still. You have to be careful opening these because they're bottle conditioned. They've been fermenting all this time, and sometimes they will explode. Or, maybe not explode, but come out of the bottle really super fast. So it's a Belgian beer, which basically means I probably won't like it. But also, it's a beer that I'm supposed to like, so I'm going to keep trying until maybe I do. The best part is that it was on sale, so there's that. It came with a couple of really cool glasses, which is nice. Huh. No, definitely smells that way. It smells kind of flowery, like lavender or something like that. I think that's the beer, not the pour. Separately might mean two different pours, because this is definitely not going to fit all of this in here. There's still a bunch left. See if I can see. Yeah, there's still about half. So we'll drink this, and then we'll drink some more. So it's a Belgian beer, so it's probably brewed with spontaneous yeast, which means it might be a little bit sour, which would be good. I'd like that. It also might taste like bananas and other weird acetaldehyde throw-offs, because that's a lot of times what Belgian beers taste like. I'm hoping it's more sour than weedy, but I'm definitely getting more floral than anything else as I'm smelling this. Kind of tastes like honey, or fermented honey at the very least, that's been fermented with barley malt. Because I don't know, because that's how I brewed most of my beers, and that's what my beers tasted like, actually, like just like this, which is weird because that's not what I was going for. And also, like I said, I've been sitting on this for a year. So it's not like this is old beer or new beer. It's not like this is new beer. This is old beer. And it's been sitting in my basement, so 45 to 55 degrees or so. I don't understand why it would, well, maybe it's just because it's bottle conditioned. The nice thing about these bottles, though, is they're super thick. Like, if you hit somebody in the head with these, it probably wouldn't break. You would probably fracture a skull with a bottle like this if you hit somebody in the head with it. Which is a strange thing to be talking about since I opened the beer with brass knuckles, but neither here nor there. Oh, man. The weird thing is, I might actually drink another one of these. Because so far as these go, it's pretty good. Let's see, this has bottling dates on it too. Bottling date. 2020, May 20. So May 20th of 2020. Best before May 20th, 2022. So I'm still good. It's still good. All right. This actually doesn't seem to have a percentage on it anywhere that I've seen, an ABV. We got the best before. Yeah, I don't see an ABV on here. Most of the time you'll get these and they'll be, well, I mean, it's a double. It's a double, so it's really actually probably around someplace between 6 and 10, I would think. But I don't know for sure exactly what all that junk means. I just know if the beer is good. And this beer, I mean, it's a Belgian beer, so I would expect it to be not great. Maybe it's just because I haven't been keeping my Belgian beers long enough, and I need to keep them longer. Yeah, like I said, this one reminds me of the stuff that I usually drink, that I usually make. So it's interesting. It's not hoppy at all, though, and most of the ones that I've made recently are sort of hoppy. I had been following a honey ale recipe for quite a while. I do different things to it. Used agave one time. That was pretty good. Throw in more honey. That was kind of messed up. That was a super strong beer, and then fortified it with Everclear. I mean, it wasn't Everclear, but it was like off-brand Everclear, so it was higher in alcohol content. That one would knock you right on your butt. It was so good, though. I put like apricot and blueberry extract in it, and it tasted so good. Honey in the extract, it was delicious. But did two of them, well, actually, because I bottled them in the large bottles, one of them would mess you up real good. What does this remind me of? Oh, shoot. There's a beer that I took up north that I'm going to leave there because nobody ever wants it. I don't remember what it was. What I do know is that when I described it on Untappd, I described it as tasting like if Satan were real and he had a butthole, this is what it would taste like. Not that it tasted like poop, but it tasted like matches and Belgian beer. So, I mean, however you want to look at that, that's what it was like. So, gross, right? What else does this remind me of? Oh, this reminds me of a story was too much. Hopefully that didn't spill all that yeast in there. Doesn't look like it, so that's nice. This reminds me of a story when I had just made a batch of tequila beer. Well, I mean, it wasn't really tequila beer, but I put a bunch of agave syrup in that one that I was making. I actually brewed it there. That honey ale that I was making, but I made it with like made it with agave syrup instead of honey, and put put it in on some chilies that I had grown. I was going to make it a spicy tequila beer, which sounds super interesting. And then I decided just before, like a week before I was going to bottle it, to throw some key limes in it, because we had key limes at work. And I was like, oh, just toss those in because they were little and you could get them out real easy. And I did get them out real easy, but it made it taste like tequila, and that's not what I was going for. But it had a hella kick. The heat, not the beer really. The beer was pretty good, but you could taste it, the chilies as you were drinking it. It was kind of interesting. I don't know if I've still got any of that, but I just finished that beer, bottled it. It was ready to go, bottle conditioned, delicious, right? So I had it all. It was all in bottles that were from like the local breweries, because you got to have a certain type of bottle, like these guys here, so that you can do the capper on it. So I had all these bottles, but they still had the label on them. Somebody cleaned up in the morning and stole all my bottles that I had been collecting so that I could make more beer, which was super disappointing. And when I decided to start taking the labels off of the bottles that I had so that they would not do that anymore. Also, when I decided that it'd be best if I tried to get all Founders bottles, because all the Founders bottles are short and I like that aesthetic a lot better than the taller bottles. I don't think that there's any real reason to have them shorter. I like them shorter. If anybody knows a reason to like them shorter, then please tell me, but I like them shorter. Maybe it's because I am short and stout, or was short and stout. But yeah, so they returned all my bottles. It was terrible. And I spent like an hour trying to get a guy out of my brother's apartment, with the three of us standing around looking at the dot pictures where you're supposed to be able to see like numbers and letters and junk. And the three of us standing around there, and none of the three of us could see the pictures, but he just kept flipping through, because none of us could see the pictures because we were all colorblind. But he just kept flipping through, and we're like, hey, can you see this one? 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 Oh, good times. Good times. I miss that stuff. Why didn't I put that up there? I will, though. I'll read that instead. Just a little bit left here. It's a nice glass, though, yeah? I think so. It's kind of cool. It's got the little ring thing here, like it's got it on the bottle. That's kind of neat. That was real nice. Okay, I've got a quote for you. This one is from Emily Dickinson, one of my high school teachers, Dave Forsyth. Emily Dickinson was his favorite, his hero. So what she said is, forever is composed of nows. So if there's anything that you're thinking that you might want to do it now, because now is forever. Miss that guy. Used to see him every once in a while when I was at work. Don't see him anymore. Heard because he died, and that was terrible. But it's, oddly enough, it's how I saw him going. But that's unfortunate too. Like that guy. Liked him a lot. He's a good teacher. Odd. Really good teacher. Like that guy. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, Tell me your stories in the comments. I'm sure you guys have stories about beers that you don't like, about beers that you do like, about just drinking stories in general, because they're a blast. So tell me your stories, please, in the comments of wherever. You can go to Instagram, Untapped, YouTube, Twitter. I'm TubaJake_69 on all of those platforms. Get a hold of me. Watch my videos. They're fun, I hope. It's a lot like having a beer with me. So, yeah. Watch it when you got time for a beer.